Hey everybody, so here's a garden update for you on the weekend here that we're getting towards the end of April. Can't believe it's going by so fast. But anyway, I'm a little tired. I've been doing a lot of work here. Let me show you. So remember the mulch pile that I was showing you on a couple videos ago? Well, I think it's about half the size now. You can see that I've put a big dent in it. Probably knocked it down to half, maybe a little more than half. But I'll show you what I've done so far. It's been a lot of hard work when you're moving mulch back and forth, making different runs like that. But the good thing is the temperature here stayed cool with overcast, and that kept the sun off my back. Now, what we basically do here is when you use mulch, it eventually deteriorates, right? It's gonna go. And unfortunately here in North Texas, we have some vicious St. Augustine grass, which is more like a weed, and it crawls along the top. So even though you try to put the mulch down and smother stuff, if it pops up and starts crawling along the top, it reestablishes itself, and you got to keep on top of it. So year after year, we've put in cardboard and mulch and cardboard and mulch, like a layer cake. But you can see here what we've done. This is a brand new fresh load of mulch, and what we've done is we've used, you can kind of see here, to help keep the weeds down as much as we can, some of that weed barrier, some light weed barrier. We got it pretty cheap at the dollar store, and so we kind of teamworked it here by rolling it out and then putting the mulch on. So let's see how we've done, because almost the whole backyard is remulched, so to speak, and it looks really nice. To be honest with you, you can come out here barefoot and walk over this stuff, and it's really nice. It really gives you that back to nature feeling, you know. And it's so fluffy and light right now, and it smells good because it's chopped up wood. But eventually it'll get compacted and go back down, and you'll need new mulch again. But if we can keep the weeds at bay just for a little bit, that will be grateful. What's some of the stuff that I did today? I restrung the tomatoes. I didn't like how I had the string, so I did this method, which is a 10-foot electrical conduit, a PVC pipe over this T-brace, and then just stringing them up. I kind of did some pruning to keep the air circulation going, so it doesn't turn into a jungle. It doesn't inhibit, mold. I don't want mold and bugs and everything to get in there. So I kind of strung it up, as you can see, and as it keeps growing, I'll keep stringing them up, and hopefully we'll get some nice tomatoes back here. There are some already right there, which is nice to see. Now, I can't remember if these are determinate or indeterminate. I'll have to look them up. The sun chokes, of course, keep coming back, and they jungle up this area, and I gotta get them out of here because they just I can't have them here. There's too much with the blackberries too, which they're coming along nicely. All those white flowers you've seen gonna turn into lots of nice blackberries, so that's really great, as well as some new growth coming up, so I'm happy to see that. The chard is coming up, as you can see here. My perpetual spinach and Swiss chard is coming up, so that's great. I did plant chard here, so I think it's coming up. I don't think those are weeds, so that'll be nice, and then I'm gonna clean that up. The new blackberries are really coming up. They really take. They're popping right up, so it's nice to see. The old blackberries, they're still here. The tomatoes, again, stringing them up. Looking nice, looking good. Instead of worried about mulch and weeds, I just want to worry about the plants. That's the intent of this stuff. So, strawberries here. Anyways, that's the back of the garden. So we will show you some more of the garden in the next piece. Alright folks, let's see the rest of the garden here. Been busy these last 2 days with the mulch. So you saw the other area. So here we started to put mulch in the flower bed. And you can see our nice dill really growing. There are some sweet potato vines that we saw at the store. So we got those now while we saw them. We'll hopefully have more, but I just grabbed them because they were there. Peppers and eggplants looking like they're still alive, doing well. Our other peppers doing well. The flower bed taking shape as we put little flowers there. My mom puts little decorations. She's good for decorations. lighting, stuff like that. So with all that mulch, where did we put it? We started to put it here in the flower beds. You know, the mulch that was previously here is all gone and deteriorated and turned into soil, and that was just leaving a lot of bare dirt, which when there's bare dirt, that means there's weeds and other things. That doesn't make your garden look nice and takes it over. So we've got mulch on both sides. The rest of the mulch we'll fill in. Can't do everything in a weekend, unfortunately. These are loofahs that I started in seed cups and then transplanted them in these containers. The idea is to have the loofahs grow and climb and make a tunnel, a loofah tunnel. We'll see if that works. Back there, the cherry tomatoes, the artichoke really taking off. The Asian pear and the fruit trees doing well. Some of the flowers, gladiolas, again, loofah. The cherry tomatoes are taking off. I've staked them up, really done a lot. The other artichoke here, and you can see, oh, as I trip, let's get that straight, there we go. It was kind of difficult putting the mulch in between the existing plants. You don't want to destroy anything, but we got it in there. Here on this side, you can see the mulch is laid, covers that bare dirt, so it cuts down on the weeds and stuff. You know, it's not going to get rid of it completely, but at least it slows it down and gives you a chance to, you know, not get overgrown. The loofah's here at each end. The fig trees. The potatoes are the crazy things, right? If you look at this side, look at those potatoes. I mean, it's a jungle. I've never had potatoes this big. I made good dirt, but look at the flowers that they make. Did you know that potatoes make a little flower? Most people didn't know this, but they're really decorative in addition to being a potato. Look at that flower. But look at how tall this is. I mean, this is almost to my hip. That's almost 3 feet. That's crazy. That's insane. Now, supposedly when the flowers are done or when the plant starts to brown and die back, that's when the potatoes are ready. So they got to be ready. This is getting the end of April. They got to be ready soon because the sweet potatoes are going to go there. The snap peas, snow peas growing. The cucumbers starting to grow. You got to start to trellis them, make sure they're taking off. I got to put some mulch back here. This is a little corner that's been storage. The Asian string beans. All of this is mulch, as you can see. As I slowly pan across, we've added mulch on top of weed barrier. So hopefully we're going to keep this down because the weeds were starting to come into this and it was going to overgrow it, and I hate that. Oh, do I hate it. This makes it so clean, so nice, so manageable. I want a stress-free garden. I want to enjoy the garden, not pull weeds all day. I want to plant, I want to harvest. You want to do the fun things, not the drudgery things. Cantaloupes are starting to sprawl. Artichokes, fennel, the lettuce. It's going to get warm. It's going to start to bolt. So that's the problem with lettuce in Texas. It gets too hot. The onions are looking really good. They're just about ready for some of these to pull, and that will then free this up for something else to plant. Onions here are a different variety. They're a little slower. The raspberries, as I told you, I transplanted the raspberries from over there to here. Didn't know if they were going to take, and well, they're taking really well. I'll be stringing them up soon enough. And then the tomatoes, all the tomatoes, blackberries, strawberries. It's spring, so everything's starting to grow. And we're going to get a storm here, and I hope it's not a violent, windy, damaging storm. But boy, do we need the rain. We have not had a good soaking rain that lasts for a couple days. That's what this garden needs. You get enough moisture in here, boy, then look out. These cucumbers, the bitter melon, the Armenian cucumbers. These are Armenian cucumbers. These are bitter melons. Here is the home of something future in a container. But yeah, we moved stuff around here. We've got the stones. Made a little bit more patio area. We're not going to grow anything here. This is the walkway, and all it's going to do is make weeds. So we said, all right, let's start putting some stones here to keep down some of the weeds. And I could put something in a container here though. That would be fine, right? Like the tree. But you know, this pathway is just going to be nothing but grass and weeds if we leave it. So better to put some stones here, cover that up, and then less stuff to weed. Same with this here. This is where the cantaloupes are going to sprawl. But I'll probably put something here, maybe another thin raised bed. That would be a good idea. Same with this area here. It's a nice walkway. But I want to put something here. I want to utilize the space. Even back there I can put a frame. Utilize the space. One thing to remember though is if you have a wheelbarrow and you got to get your mulch from over here, well, make sure the pathways fit. Some of my pathways were getting pretty tight, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got to leave space to get the equipment through. So when you look at it from this angle, I mean, you get a nice angle of the garden. It's really nice. I mean, you know, it's just your typical American backyard, nothing really crazy. But look at how much you could grow here if you utilize your space, and we still got space, and use the vertical, right? And then this area here won't be storage forever. I just got odds and ends here, and I can put more raised beds or maybe some of these verticals and grow more. I mean, I could put another bunch of tomato plants or peppers or eggplants or God knows what, you know. So there's lots of stuff we can do, and that's a great thing. All right, so we'll walk back through here, and you can see the pathway. We sweep the pathway. It looks nice now, if we can keep it this way. The pathway to the back door. And then, of course, the entryway. Here's the future home of something. I stopped because I want to fill this with dirt. And then here now, this has got sun and light. So I can plant some stuff here, and I got to move some of the storage out of the way. The wood, this is the original. This is almost 5 years plus. It's about had it. It's going to need something new, which always does. But now that it's got light, what can I put here that can stand shade, but some light? I was thinking of maybe some honeyberries or something that, you know, doesn't like the full Texas heat, but needs a little light. I don't know yet. We'll see. But anyways, folks, this is the garden update for this weekend. And you can see the mulch pile is much smaller. You work hard trying to get rid of that mulch. And then the hibiscus, of course, starting to grow and sprout and doing all the good stuff that they do every year. I'll take the cages out when I think the rabbits won't want to eat it. All right, folks, that is another weekend. We will see you later. Talk to you soon.